Okay, so we're going to focus on setting up our first beat, adding sounds, using the channel rack or the step sequencer, sorry, and we're gonna create like our first kind of loop. And yeah, so we're basically just gonna make a beat. All right, and this is FL. You can start a new template. We'll go to minimal, file, minimal, basic 808 with limiter. It's pretty good. You could just use basic 808 without the limiter. There's not much of a difference between these two, except for the fact that the limiter is on the master track. I I don't know. Depends on what you like to do when you make beats. Only thing I don't like about this is it shows my government name. So if I'm making a YouTube video, I typically would change this. Or you could put your producer name in there if you're like shipping the beat out to somebody. It'll be like encoded in the file. But anyways, let's start with the beat part. All right, so we're here. Boom. Um, Typically, you would start with the melody. Now, you don't have to. You can start with like a drum loop or something like that. But most of the time when I make a beat, I'm starting with the melody. So I'm just going to do what I know best, which is start with the melody. Again, you can start with whatever, but I'm going to start with the melody. And there's basically two schools of thought here, right? There's there's sampling a melody, like having a melody loop already playing, and then there's playing your own melody. I like to play my own melody. I think you can. There's a lot of pros and cons between both of these, and I'll lay them out. Own melody pros. I just feel like it's more creative. You're never gonna hear another melody quite like it, and I think it's just more creative. And I think you you save a lot of time. I think, as in you don't have to find a loop every time, and you can really just kind of make musical how you feel. Like yesterday, I had a weird dream, and I kind of made a melody like the weird dream that I had. So it just kind of like you can kind of just be more creative. And oh yeah, of course, the big one is you don't your music won't be copyrighted. So like if you sample, someone else might have sampled that same sample, and then they'll upload it and copyright the song, and you might have to deal with that. Now you can often get through that just by sending a simple letter, but like you probably will get a copyright flag. You get a copyright flag a lot of the times that I've seen. Not a lot, but it definitely happens. Um, Pros to sampling is you can start off getting a very, very good sample. It is faster if you've already downloaded the pack than it is to actually make a melody. Although I think it's faster to make a melody because you don't have to pick anything. So it's kind of like maybe it's about it averages out to about the same speed. And then I think you can get really good at sampling, and like that's just what you do. You sample really well. So like there's two schools, and I sample loops too, but just not melody loops. But that's just you got to know that. And I'm gonna show school. I'm gonna show the sample school so we can speed this video up. In another video, I'll do the actual melody making. But for the sake of this, I will do the sampling, and we're gonna check these out here. Okay, 165. I put the BPM in here. I'm just gonna go ahead and move this BPM up here up to 165. We'll drag this one in here. This melody's long. Okay, I made these some time ago. I'm actually gonna update this free loop melody loops pack. By the way, you guys should be able to get this for free too. It is called free melody loops, so it'll always be free. And it's on our website if it's not in the download folder in this video. Okay, so it's easy to find on our website. It's like right on the homepage. Okay. So we have this melody that's in here. Boom. Now we're gonna move on to the drums, and we're just gonna like basically select the drum sounds. So typically, in a beat, we're gonna omit the bass this time. That's a little bit more advanced. It might cover that later, but typically in a beat, there's the kick, there's the snare, and then there's the hi-hat, and then maybe like a type of percussion element. Those are like the fundamental sounds. All right, so To find those, you can open up the browser, and we're gonna go to packs, and then they're all here. So FL does come with a bunch of free sounds. For the sake of this, we'll go to legacy. If you're doing hip hop, drums, hip hop is here. Others are here too. Vintage is nice. We'll throw in this one right here. This hi-hat. You can just drag this in here. Maybe drag it right over this one. Oh, you can also use a clap. I forgot. Yes, clap is a thing too. We'll throw that one in there. Move it to a different mixer channel. There's open hi-hat. Totally don't need that. There's that snare. VTCY. And last thing we're missing is, you guessed it, a kick. So let's go find a kick. This is a kick. And you can keep dragging some in if you're just like, if you hear a couple good ones. Typically I would play this melody while picking it, but just so you guys can hear me more clearly, I just have it off. But typically you would listen to it and you'd kind of like pick sounds that kind of like mesh with the melody. And that's like a skill that you just got to keep doing over and over again to get good at. In fact, I'll do it with the kick. So it's like these two sound good with it. It just like this one just doesn't quite fit. I kind of like that snare too, which I accidentally hit. That happens. That kick is good too. Okay, so we have the sounds here, and it's just like you would think. The timing aligns with these little separators here. These are basically like quarters, and like the beat, it's just like they're just like quarters. So I'll show you what I mean. So if we're in pattern 1, first of all, put pattern 1 down here. So you can click this, kind of like left click. So we have pattern 1 here. You can have it like repeat like this, and we'll do like a drum pattern. All right, so let's see here. We can close this. Boom, go like boom. Okay. All right, let's see how that sounds when it gets there. Okay. Okay, we can try a different one. Alright. And then you just kind of visualize the pattern you want in your head. So if you ever just like drummed on a table, it's like, or if you've ever have a drum set. If you have a drum set, you have an advantage going into beats, which I could talk for days about, but we're not going to talk too much about that. So I'll go like, alright. The melody, and also the melody would dictate the drum pattern. So like, you know, that's just how I do it. It sounds a little like off actually. It sounds a little I think the sounds sound good actually. That's basically it right there. Yeah. Okay, so if I was doing this again, I'll be like, alright, hold up. Boom. 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 Alright. I'm not gonna lie, like, the timing of this melody and the drums are a little weird. It's actually kind of unusual. Let me try to figure this out here. Booms, booms. Okay, I think I know what the problem is here. This is in a 3 here. Let's try that. All right. Now that sometimes happens. That was a live example. That was a live example of a situation you might run into if you sample, which is like you think it'll be 4 bars, but it might actually be like kind of like a 3-bar pattern, so it repeats every 3. But anyways, the point is, this is how you do drums, and you can add in other elements too. So we'll go like maybe add in a cymbal to start off, boom, tss, tss, tss. Add an open hi-hat or something like that. You'll hear how it sounds. Alright. Yo. That's it for the video. Yo. That's it. Yeah. Yo. I hope you watch this video. I don't really know what I'm doing though. I be trying to get money making it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm taking it. Throw it up online on Coursera and Udemy. I don't really know what to do to me. Put it on YouTube too, it be all over the place. Yeah. I ain't a rapper though. That's it for this vid, dog. Catch me in the next one.